Good. Okay. So very excitingly, I've managed to track down the Chief Executive of the CIPD, the man in charge of everything that's going on out there. So thank you very much for giving us a couple of minutes.
Yeah.
How's the conference been going from your perspective?
Pretty crazy. I mean, from my own personal perspective, I kind of rush here, there, and everywhere, but it's fantastic. I mean, I get a lot of personal energy from it. It's fantastic just meeting so many different people, reconnecting, meeting new people, hearing great speeches and content, and it's been brilliant. And I think the feedback always is about the energy and buzz. And to me, this conference is about, it should be the main event, as it were, in terms of our profession. And it feels like that. We've also got 200 exhibitors. I think we have over 80 speakers. So it's been wonderful.
Excellent. And have you spotted any key themes as you've been going around?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the whole theme of the conference, as you know, is the future of HR. We're doing a huge amount of work at the CIPD on trying to understand the future direction, the big trends. We've been talking for a while about the trends in the changing nature of workforce, workplace. But we're also talking a lot about the principles which we think will guide good business and therefore should guide good HR. I think that so within that theme, we've got a lot of stuff talking about the future. We had Dave Copeland from Microsoft, which unfortunately wasn't at his session, but had great feedback about future of work and digital, and we've had a lot of those sorts of conversations. Had a lot of neuroscience and behavioral science. I chaired a fantastic session yesterday with Tara Swart. We've got one of the breakout sessions in the exhibition area, free talks, which is entirely focused on behavioral and neuroscience, and it's always jam-packed. So that's been a big theme. Big themes, of course, about HR operating models, HR capabilities, and where that's all going. So yeah, been very rich agendas and a lot of excitement.
Good. Well, one of the things I was really pleased to hear you talk about in the opening speech was around this idea of moving away from best practice. It's been something that's been a bugbear of mine for a long time.
You tweet about it.
So I was really pleased to hear that. I mean, is that something we're going to see as a definite direction for your work on the future?
No, definitely. I mean, in essence, what we're saying is I think what we've often worried about in the past is there's some perfect solution out there, and as long as we all adopt the Ulrich model or we find this mythical best practice, then everything will be fine. And I don't think that's just an HR thing. I think businesses in general have. And now what we see is a much more varied and diverse world. I mean, I sometimes use this great quote from William Gibson, the science fiction writer, who said, the future's already here, it's just unevenly distributed. So you can see a vast array of organizations and operating models, very much more diverse ways of working and diverse organizational cultures and so on. And in that world, there can't be one solution. So what we're saying is, yes, let's focus on what's right for the organization, understand the context of the organization you're in, what its strategy is, what's important to it, and work from that place backwards. Understand the outcomes and values we're trying to drive. Now, of course, that doesn't mean to say that we can't learn from each other. That's a vitally important part of the process. And we will continue, I'm sure, to look at companies like Google or Netflix or whatever and say, gosh, I wonder if I could try some of that stuff here. But we are not all Google.
Absolutely.
So the answer is absolutely about thinking about what's good, what's applicable practice, and I would say innovating and trying stuff. I think we've got to have more confidence and courage to recognize that the old orthodoxies, the old models, the old ways of thinking are not always going to serve us well in the future. And so I'm encouraging a lot of innovation in HR. Just try it. Let's get rid of some of these processes or policies and see what happens. What's the worst that can happen?
Absolutely. And I think it chimes with a lot of the things that came out of the hackathon.
Yes, absolutely it does.
It was organised by the CIPD.
Very much so. Yeah, very much so.
Really pleased to hear you say that. Thank you so much for your time.
My pleasure.
But also, on behalf of one random CIPD member, thank you for the work you've been doing to transform CIPD. I mean, for me, my engagement as a member for 10 years of my career was almost nil, maybe rather than reading people management. Over the last 3 or 4 years, I've been absolutely engaged with the organisation, and it's a really impressive team. Putting this on is really impressive. So thank you for.
Well, no, thank you. I mean, I've been in the role now 3 years. I mean, I love it. I mean, it's a fantastic time, as I said many times, for our profession, and I'm determined that the CIPD will be a much more enabling, leading capability in supporting people at all levels and through their careers. And it's an exciting journey we're on, for sure. But it is also people like you, Tim, who do a great job in kind of getting the messages out there. I mean, the fact that you're here, we've got the blog squad. I mean, these are really important communication channels for us as well.
Yeah, I think it's great that we have the opportunity as kind of HR people as well to give our take on things. So we appreciate it very much. And thanks a lot for your time.
Pleasure.
Great to talk to you.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Thank you.